welcome. I'm Peggy, and I welcome you to the kitchen and for some special information and some good recipes. And I'm going to start over there at the end and introduce my friend, Paul Malkmus, and he is the CEO of the Hallelujah Diet.
Yes, ma'am.
And he has come today with his chef. Oh, we're really great. And so we have Chef Richard Arnold with us.
Thank you for having me, Peggy.
You actually have a cooking school. You teach people
I do,
to
yes.
live healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's what the Hallelujah Diet is all about. And there, in case you didn't know, there's a picture there of the magazine. And everything is, I guess you could say, organic, wholesome. You try to help people change the way they think about food, and they would live longer and better.
Absolutely. You hit it right on the head.
I'm on your wavelength, I think. And so we're just delighted to have you. And a couple of the things, this sounded wonderful to me. A cranberry relish. How timely.
Yes.
It could go with anything. Mm-hmm. So he's going to make that after the break. And this one is what?
This is going to be a lentil millet holiday loaf, we call it. It's a great vegetarian alternative to meatloaf, packed with tons of flavor, and it's super satisfying, just like a real meatloaf would be.
Okay, and it is super nutritious.
Absolutely. Lentils are just packed with great nutrition. 1 cup of lentils actually has almost 20 grams of protein, so it's just such a great food for everybody to eat.
All right.
And millet also is a really great grain. It's got lots of magnesium, and it tastes great.
And this is something not so difficult that we could all learn to do.
Oh, definitely. It's only a few steps, and I think it's pretty easy. So
okay.
You can tell me though.
Well, do you want to get started?
Sure. So I've got a saute pan here that I've just heated up to medium heat, and we're going to add a little bit of coconut oil. Coconut oil is a very healthy oil to cook with. It has a high smoke point, and
so in other words, you would use this in place of like olive oil.
Yes. I love olive oil, and I use it for a lot of things. But extra virgin olive oil is really better to use when it's raw. Okay. When you cook olive oil, it gets rid of a lot of the great properties that it has. So
now that is, how much did you put in there?
About a tablespoon, about a tablespoon of coconut oil in the pan. And we're going to add in some aromatic veggies. We've got onion, celery, and carrot.
And they, of course,
chopped up. Yep. And in French cooking, this would be called a mirepoix. It's just classic aromatic flavors. What we're really doing here is just building the base flavors
for
our loaf. Absolutely, yeah, nice and colorful. Should always eat from the rainbow, because each different color food has different nutrients that we need.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely, yep. So if you're eating colorful food...
Eat from the rainbow. That's kind of romantic.
It is a little bit.
And you just let that...
Yeah, we're going to let this saute a little bit, and we're going to add in some fresh herbs. I've got chopped thyme, sage, and rosemary here. And as soon as we add these in, you're going to start smelling those nice aromas from the fresh herbs. So we'll get those herbs in there and let that get happy with our aromatic veggies. There we go. A little bit of sea salt.
That's what I always use, sea salt.
Sea salt? Mm-hmm. Very good. Sea salt is the way to go. You want to use a nice unrefined sea salt. That way it's got all the minerals in it that your body needs to help absorb that salt. Oop, one got away from us there. Let's throw him back in with his friends.
Now you tell me that you have a school, the Hallelujah Diet School, and people come and stay, and it takes about 5 days, and you transform your life.
Yes. It's called Raw Gourmet Living, is the Hallelujah Diet Culinary Academy. We run it about 4 times a year, and it's 5 days. We make a lot of food. We're making all gourmet, raw, and vegan foods for 5 days.
And so, do you reach out to people, not only people who are well, but people who have special problems. I mean, I've heard of people have cancer, and they're seeking better ways.
That's a
help
great
themselves.
question.
Is
That's a
that-
great question. We also have a lifestyle center program, which is our primary focus, that we invite people to come who either have or have had some serious health conditions that want to heal through changing their diet and lifestyle.
Okay, so we'll give you more information about that as we go along. So now this is just kind of simmered.
Yep, it's simmering away here.
And about how much would you say? About a cup of the...
We've got 1 cup of each. Great
Okay.
question. We've got 1 cup each of the onion, carrot, and celery.
And then the herbs that you just...
And then the herbs that I threw in. Yes.
All right. That's
We're just going to
pretty.
give that another minute or so, and we'll transfer that to our food processor over here.
Well, you know, Peggy, it's so important for people to find out how to cook differently than the standard American diet way. And so that's what Chef Richard is really doing, is bringing the wonderful flavors and the wonderful aromas that are with the natural foods and making it to where people really enjoy it on a day-to-day basis.
And it's not something you have to be afraid of. It's not some way out thing.
No,
You
not at all.
incorporate this into your everyday life.
Everyday life. And what you're doing is feeding your body so that your body is becoming stronger and healthier instead of feeding it things that deteriorate the health.
Well, we have an enormous problem in this country of obesity, and that is causing heart attack, stroke. We can do better.
Yes, and people are just putting the wrong foods in. And by putting the right foods in, the body knows what to do, and it starts healing and starts working properly. So Richard, through the blogs that we write, he writes every other week. So he puts out a blog for
Okay.
Fall in Love with Food Again.
So if you did www.myhd, is that right?
It's My H Diet.
myhdiet, diet.com.
That's right.
And then you could click on, you could find Richard.
That's right. You can find Richard.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm on there doing recipes. Every other week we have a new
Oh, how
blog that comes
wonderful.
out.
Okay.
And he puts the recipe there.
www.myhdiet.com.
That's it.
Okay.
There'll be
that's
pictures and instructions and wonderful recipes.
So I'm just gonna, now that our veggies are nice and sauteed here, I'm going to add half of the veggies in the pan here to our food processor. And what I already have in this food
important. I was
processor,
gonna say, what's in there?
what's in there? You see, there's already some stuff in there. Just to make it quicker, I've got in 2 cups of cooked lentils and 2 cups of cooked millet already in the processor, along with a couple of other ingredients that really make this dish tasty. And those are 1/3 of a cup of nutritional yeast and 1/3 of a cup of ground flax. Now, nutritional yeast is an ingredient that some people might not have heard of, but it's a really great ingredient. It gives things a buttery, cheesy flavor. It's a totally inactive yeast, so it won't make bread rise or give you any yeast problems or anything like that. And it's really high in B vitamins and protein, so it's got some good nutritional benefits to it as
So
well.
now we know what you've got in there. Now, what was in there before?
That was the 2 cups of lentils,
Okay.
2 cups of cooked
Now,
millet.
the lentils have been cooked?
The lentils were already cooked, yes.
Okay.
The lentils take a little while to cook,
That's
so
what
I
I was
didn't
gonna
have time to
say.
cook them here on the show.
No.
Yeah.
So you have 2 cups of cooked lentils that you
Yes.
just cooked in water. Just
Yeah, just cooked in water.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just
drained.
Yeah, cooked and drained.
then the other is
Is millet.
Millet.
And millet is really easy to cook. You would just take 1 cup of raw millet, of uncooked millet, with 2 cups of liquid, either water or vegetable broth,
Okay.
whatever you wanted to use, and that'll give you actually 3 cups of cooked millet.
all right. Now these things the millet you can buy in stores or in health food
Absolutely.
stores.
Health food stores definitely have it, and even most grocery stores would have it if you looked for it.
Okay.
So the other half of our veggies, I'm just adding to a mixing bowl here. And the reason why we're going to blend some and just mix some in the mixing bowl is to give the loaf a little bit of texture. So I've got 1 more cup of lentils and a cup of millet in that mixing bowl. So
right.
first I'm going to blend up our ingredients here a little bit.
Okay. This looks like it'll make a generous portion.
It will. It'll make a nice sized loaf. So we've got that. And I'm just going to lift this off and add it into our mixing bowl.
And now you have actually all of the vegetables in the mixing bowl.
That's right. That's right. So we're going to put all of this in there. And I'm just going to put this back in the sink. So now, what we're just going to add to this is 3 tablespoons of organic tamari. Tamari is just another word for soy sauce.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just a really good quality soy sauce. We're going to put in 3 tablespoons. Just add that 1, 2, 3. When you've been doing it as long as I can, you can just add those tablespoons.
Well,
And we're going to mix all of this in really well. And when it's all nice and incorporated, we are going to add it to a loaf pan and put a glaze on it. And I just want to quickly show you how to make that glaze. It's super simple. Let me put this right over here. What I've got here is half a cup of organic ketchup. Just going to put into a little bowl here.
I didn't know you could buy organic ketchup.
Yes, absolutely. Any health food store will have a nice quality organic ketchup.
All right.
So we're just going to put in half cup organic ketchup with 2 tablespoons of a good quality mustard. And I'm using a coarse grain mustard here, but you could use really any mustard that you like would work for this. 2 tablespoons of the mustard. And just mix that up.
And that makes the glaze to go on the...
That makes the glaze to go on top, yes. And we actually already have one that's ready to go, so I'm just going to pull that out of the oven.
All right.
Let me just find
I'll tell
a
you what.
towel.
I'll tell you what. While you're doing that, we have to go to a break.
Okay, sure.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you would like to have these recipes, we would love to share them with you. And this is some good health that you can incorporate all the way, but certainly coming into the holidays, why not have something different? And the recipe number is 849. And just if you can send us a self-addressed stamped envelope and send it to the Peggy Denny Show, Post Office Box 1616, Greenville, South Carolina, 29602. And be sure to put the number on there because we have lots of recipes. We need to know which one you wanted. And we'll be happy to share it with you thanks to our wonderful chef and the Hallelujah Diet. We'll be right back.